are going to talk about glitter and greed. Guys, thanks for stopping by the Lisa Frank story. Mary, I don't really have a lot. I was hearing the name Lisa Frank the last couple of weeks, maybe on social media and stuff, but I really don't know a ton about that. Can you kind of give us some background on why this documentary?
You got it. I grew up obsessed with Lisa Frank products. And if you don't know, Lisa Frank products are products that are covered with unicorns and rainbows and very happy pandas, very happy dolphins and tigers. And these designs covered trapper keepers and they were made into stickers and pencils. And if you're a kid of the 90s, especially perhaps if you're a girl, you grew up completely obsessed with them. So I grew up completely obsessed with them and obsessed because they provided joy and delight. There's something about these designs that are just completely captivating and magical. I was drawn to work on this film, this series, because I loved the products as much as I did and had noticed that they'd sort of faded from prominence. They still exist. The company is still active, but they're not everywhere, and they were once everywhere. So the question was, what the heck happened to Lisa Frank Inc. and why? And we dug in at Maxine Productions, the company that I run. We dug in, started speaking with former employees of Lisa Frank Incorporated, and very quickly came to realize that there's a pretty wild story. Many of them said, listen, I've been waiting for someone to ask me to tell my story for decades. Thank goodness you called. Let's go. And they said, listen, working there, not all of them said this, but many said, working there was both the best of times and the worst of times, let me tell you. And we said, yes, I'm pulling up a chair. Let's go. Our partners at Prime Video shared the enthusiasm and passion for this story. And Ariana Lepene, our wonderful director, who I've been trying to recruit for many projects at Maxine for years. And she always said, maybe, maybe. I said, what about Lisa Frank? And she said, yes. So Ariana signed on and Prime Video supported us the whole way. And we knew we were ready to go.
For
Ariana,
me, it
when
was like
you
a
go ahead.
scratch. I was like, wait, Lisa Frank? Like, hold on. I want that. Like, let's make that show.
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, I remember, I guess, the things of the whole Trapper Keeper thing, 'cause it is my type of age, 80s, 90s. I'm 51, so I remember that time. But Ariana, I didn't know, specifically enough of this brand. Was it really, I guess, because social media wasn't around at this time, Lisa can kind of keep out in the public as a product, but really not get out there so much that people could really know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen it, even if you don't recognize the name. If I show you the pictures, you'll be like, oh, it's that, because it's so ubiquitous actually that you don't even realize you know it. Like it's now crossed into the legacy zone of being everywhere. And so many things are influenced by it. Like anything that you see out there in the world made for kids, that's like pink and sparkly is probably influenced by Lisa Frank.
Oh
I'm
boy.
looking for a picture so that I can show you.
I thought
Now,
that's what.
go, Mary.
Like,
Uh-huh.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Now, Mary, what was now we're hearing the word Lisa Frank out there more and more. Is it based on your investigation in the documentary, you think, that's kind of getting it out there, or were buzzes of some problems going on before you did the documentary?
Rumors and various snippets of accounts about a sort of troubling pattern of behavior, series of actions, set of experiences within the company. Those existed. There was an article written by journalist Tracy Morrissey, who's featured in the film for Jezebel, called Inside the Rainbow Gulag. And that was an investigative piece that featured the accounts of several former employees who said, yeah, it was a troubling experience. Many said that. Again, this is not an experience that everyone had. There are many who had positive experiences there, and there are many who said, yeah, best of times, worst of times. Perhaps the conditions were unnecessarily harsh. Perhaps I didn't have to work, quite so hard and in this certain set of conditions, especially when I was making something that was meant to spark joy for a 5-year-old. Was that really necessary? But there are others who said, I was part of something bigger than myself. I made a smiling dolphin that is eternal. And both things can be true. Both things can be true.
Okay. So, what should we expect, Ariana, without giving it away? So people need to go out and check it out.
uh, Okay, so Lisa Frank's son, Hunter, says in the show, "Oh, it's a rainbow roller coaster." All right. I think that's a pretty good description, and that's why we included it. You see this rainbow of people, first off. So because the Lisa Frank brand is so famously this rainbow aesthetic, I decided to have each person in a different color of the rainbow. So even when you're watching, you feel like you're in the world of Lisa Frank. And you kind of go deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole of people's stories. And every single person is like, you're never going to believe this. So there's quite, you're going on a ride. And as you start to hear from employees and they describe the experience of working under famously James Green, who is this mythical character at Lisa Frank, who was her husband and business partner. And at the end of episode 1, guess who shows up? James Green himself. So it's like a buckle up because James has his own story to tell. And each episode is like that. Everyone has their own story to
Right.
tell. And by the end, you're wondering, like, what is the story? What is the real story? And it was really important for us to let the audience decide what they think. So we present everyone's personal accounts, and then you decide what you think of the Lisa Frank Company.
And go, Mary.
James Green, who is Lisa Frank's former business partner and ex-husband, had never previously shared his story on camera or in any substantial capacity. We wrote James a letter seeking his account and his participation, and he sent an email back that I'll never forget, and it included, written in all caps, "I am the sentence, I am the real Lisa Frank," with multiple exclamation points. And we said, wow, this man has
I am your documentary.
I am your documentary. Yeah.
Oh my,
So
that's
has a story to tell, and it's a story that he is, impassioned about. He cares deeply about this experience and feels as though his account had never, was missing from the sort of mythology that has been built up and exists around the brand. And then his son and Lisa's son, one of their sons, also wanted to participate, and so we're featuring his account as well. And then many, many former employees who are speaking on camera for the first time.
it's interesting, Ariana. Any company that blows up from nowhere to something huge usually does not know how to run a business. They're going to grow too fast. It sounds like a lot of that has to do with exploding to a level and trying to live the level when they first started. Do you see that stuff, Ariana and Mary, around with companies that, start from just a trend of some sort or something, but yet weren't ready for the explosion?
Well, I think, okay, so what happened with the Lisa Frank Company is like they had a totally genius idea. Like
Right.
they entered into this market that the school supplies were just boring, like plain
Right.
colors or nothing. And Lisa Frank exploded on the scene and just captured the imagination of kids, right? And so they exploded, and they're just people, and
Yeah.
suddenly they're running a multi-million-dollar company. So
You're not prepared
I
for
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, you
Probably we're
hire
all not
major
prepared
people.
for that.
You
Yeah.
hire major people to be a CEO of a multi-million dollar slash billion dollar company that have had experience running companies, not started from scratch to low. And that's usually where the chaos begins, for sure. So people can check it out on Amazon. And is it available now, Mary, on Amazon?
Yeah.
It is
On Prime?
available on Prime Video right now.
All
4
right.
episodes.
I
Glitter
appreciate it.
Green
And Mary,
story.
congratulations on Quiet on the Set. I got to watch it. Amazing. It was great. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks again.
Thanks so
Likewise.
much.
You're listening and watching.